Hello and welcome to Eyecatchers, where we take a look at all the highlights from the 2013 NAB AFL Under-18 Championships. I'm Callum Toomey and I'm joined by the AFL's National Talent Manager, Kevin Sheehan, and AFL Academies Development Manager, Mick Ablett. This week we're going through all the best players from last weekend's two big Division 1 games, and there's lots to talk about, isn't there, Mick?
Certainly is. It was down to business. Points are on the line now. We had the two Vic teams hit the road and head into state. Some first-class footy, couple of injuries, lots to look forward to on the show.
First game was played at Patterson Stadium between Vic Metro and WA. Vic Metro got the points 15-10-100, defeating WA 12-9-81. We were all there. Kevin, you had a look at this one. Tom Boyd was the star early before falling down with injury.
What a sensational start it was. Yes, he had it on a string, took 3 marks and kicked 3 goals. And then at the 11-minute mark, rose again to take another strong mark and rolled the ankle. Christian Salem had to help him out by popping the goal through. So Boyd's off and the game was then wide open, and a terrific game it was, and really gave great credit to the Division 1 match-up between two of the preferred sides. The stars for the Metro included their hard-running small midfielder, young Mitch Honeychurch. Dominated. He had 33 possessions. He won so much contested footy. In fact, 17 contested possessions. He kicked a couple of goals and really was a live wire, and backed up the very good game he had in round 1 against Queensland. So a great start for Mitch Honeychurch, the number 4.
Luke McDonald and Ben Lennon were two guys who played for Vic Metro last year as bottom majors. They played really good games against WA on the weekend. Yes, and Luke McDonald, of course, the son of a gun. His father, Donald, 155 games for North Melbourne. It's been well publicised that he's a father-son contender there for North. Well, he's terrific. As the captain, he was playing across half-back, and he really set the game up from there with his precision kicking on his left side. He made some great choices too in the use of his hands. So he had a great game. And then another exciting prospect in Ben Lennon, who you mentioned, playing up forward. He kicked 3 goals in the third quarter, including some very good contested marks, a great snapper too as well, and he's probably the best of the medium forwards, we think, in contention for this year's draft. So Ben Lennon, a star, along with Luke McDonald. Also liked from me Josh Kelly's game, 30 touches, 6 tackles and a lot of run, and as always a lot of good skill on his left foot. For WA, they're missing a couple of the good players, obviously. Talk us through what's happening there, and a couple of guys that have stood up in their absence. Yes, it was brought to our attention. Of course, you've got Jesse Hogan, of course, over here at the Melbourne Demons, and you've got Jack Martin up at the Gold Coast Suns. They're two boys that were taken in the mini draft last year. They're turning 18 this year. In a normal year, would play for WA. So with those two out, it was always going to be a tough task to beat the Victorians. But one that really stood out once again, and it was just, I suppose, his X factor. He didn't dominate the game, but Jonathan Marsh was some of the exciting run that he can provide for his side. He's a 191-centimetre boy that played across half forward. He had a great battle with Daniel McStay, actually, who probably broke even with him on the day. But a great goal from outside 50 late in the game to Marsh in the last quarter, and then a brilliant running goal really put them within a goal, and they looked like snatching an unlikely victory. So this boy is the grandson of a dual Sandover medalist in Ray Sorrell, who was at East Fremantle. He's in their team of the century, so he's got the bloodlines there, and his 17 disposals, 5 marks, was pretty spectacular stuff. And a quick word on a possible father-son recruit for the West Coast Eagles. Yes, I like the work of Alex Waterman, the left footer, like his father Chris, who was a dual premiership player of the West Coast Eagles, and he's a low centre of gravity. He gets his head over the footy. He makes great choices in the way he uses the ball, and he's really going from strength to strength this year. Quick word on the second game, Michael. We had a look at it in South Australia in Adelaide on Sunday. South Australia 11-13-79 defeated Vic Country 6-9-45, 34 points. Who were the best players from your point of view?
Yeah, look, for me, Callum, it was Luke Dunstan, the captain. He was the standout. He's the number 20, Woodville West Torrens boy, 185 centimetres and 83 kilos. When you talk leadership and character, this kid's as good as it gets. 30 disposals, 9 marks, 7 tackles and 5 clearances. He led from the front, and when it came to the crunch, he was right amongst them. He's a little bit like a Sam Mitchell, just in his ability to extract the footy at a stoppage, win the footy front and square at a contest. Very, very clean hands, distributes it super effectively, and he's very efficient by foot also. So great start by the skipper for SA. We've heard a lot about Matt Scharenberg over the last couple of weeks, but another one to put his name up in that sort of ranking and that sort of order was Rolly Knight. Yeah, he was. He certainly caught the eye, mate. He's the number 13. 180 centimetre. He's a midfielder come half forward type. Another Woodville West Torrens boy, so there's a couple of them there. 17 possessions, 6 marks, 6 tackles and a goal. He just provided enormous amounts of pressure. He was impressive, had a nice little burst of speed there. Super hard running, that's for sure. And like I said, just that relentless defensive pressure. Applied a number of tackles, made the Vic Country boys a little bit edgy anytime he was in the area. Very, very sharp, clean hands too. So he'll be an important player come the next couple of weeks, that's for sure. And
Scharenberg, as we said, was pretty phenomenal again, wasn't he?
Yeah, look, we seem to mention him quite regularly on this, but you can't go past him. He's had 27 disposals and 4 marks. Just looks a ready-made senior football already. Absolute star, fantastic kid.
Didn't mind the game of Trent Dumont as well. 24 touches, really gave him a lot of drive and vision throughout the midfield there. Vic Country, well led by Billy Huntung, who had a big role to play and he did it well.
Yeah, certainly did. He was challenged midweek, Cal, to play on James Aish, who we all know the quality of James Aish. Did a fantastic job. Probably had the chocolates at half-time just on James. He went on some absolute blistering runs, which we see in the footage here, that really brought the crowd alight. 17 disposals, 5 tackles, 4 inside 50s. Stiff not to get the goal of the championships at one stage, just couldn't quite finish. He's got absolute elite endurance. Again, showed that leg speed. His kicking can cause serious damage to opposition defence as well, so great to see Billy amongst the action.
You give us a bit of an update on Louis Herbert. He was an 18-year-old who didn't get drafted last year, and also the progress of Darcy Gardner.
Yeah, Louis Herbert, he's the number 12 here, you'll see. He's a 187 centimetre player out of the North Ballarat Rebels. He's really started to become the swingman of the competition, I guess. He's got the ability to play at both ends of the ground. He's got a strong, sure set of hands. Looks particularly good overhead. 17 possessions, 7 marks and 3 inside 50s. Comes off his opponents at the right time. Looks very, very sure with the ball in hand, and he's come a long way in the last 12 months, that's for sure.
Thanks a lot, Mick. That's it for the first half of round 3, guys. The Division 2 games will be played on Saturday, with New South Wales ACT taking on Northern Territory at Blacktown and Tasmania versus Queensland at Blundstone Arena. Guys, what are we expecting to see this weekend at Division 2 games?
Well, I've had the experience of the crossover games where they challenged themselves against the Division 1 sides and were fairly comprehensively beaten. I think this will be very even across the second division. Tassie at home, I think I'll tip them to beat Queensland there at home, and New South Wales ACT to also win at home over the Northern Territory.
There you have it. There's the tips from the AFL's National Talent Manager, Kevin Sheehan. Thanks a lot for your time, Kev. Yourself as well, Mick. I'm Callum Toomey. Keep joining us for Eyecatchers next week. Stay tuned.